Hello, and welcome to a tutorial on how to make clothing for the Bladen cat mesh avatar, which has been updated to support bento. So, you go to this link in the description, download through your browser, extract it, go to here. It might look a little bit different for you because what I did was I pressed in. It'll look like this when you first open it, but I just unchecked that textured solid button. Okay. Then you go to the bones, which are also going to look very weird, and you go to this little thing right here, and you click on this. And then you go to avastar, tab, and you disable the X. See how it's going to look like that? You just disable the EXT, and it should just have this. Now, once you've done that, you right click the body and the head, Control C to copy it, save that, and you go to new. What I'm gonna do is just this. Control V to paste, then you go ahead and you get rid of the armature by pressing apply in the modifier tab, and you delete the armature. And there's going to be these other things here. If you click and drag down the eyes, you can see that there's like a ton of junk right here that you don't need. So what you do is you press A, then you right click with shift and you click this twice to deselect the head and the body. Then you press delete and you're all done. Now you just need to join these two together so that you can have something for the Marvelous Designer to base off of. So you do export. I already exported and I did it as bladen cat dummy.object. Scroll down in the little settings and you go to scale. Make the scale 1000 because it'll make it big enough for you to make clothes in a Marvelous Designer. Export. I already have it opened up in here, as you can see. I'm using the breasts body. You don't have to. It doesn't really matter which one you use. I'm going to make clothes for both versions of the body for those who are like picky or whatever. So no worries for you guys who are like flat chest fans. I don't really care. I already made clothes, but for some reason Bandicam was being really stupid. So I am going to just make clothes again. It's gonna be okay though, because I'm just gonna go ahead and make a little shirt. Let's make it a cropped shirt so it goes all the way up here. Stop at the middle, hold shift, go up here, click, let go of shift. Make the shirt go up here. Make the neck. Now we go to this tool here, right, you left click on this, unfold. Now you have your thing. Don't forget to press the sync button so that you can see it in the live view. Alright, now we copy this, we paste it right on top of the thing you have here, and you just right click it, flip horizontally. Then you go to the side view as best you can. Make sure you just see a yellow line and you move it to the back. And there you go. You can move the other one to the front if you want a little bit closer. And move the back one a little bit over so that it's perfectly in line with the other shirt. Otherwise it's going to look a little bit weird. Alright, now we can start saving so that we don't lose our work. As you can see, I've made a ton of other shirts, and I'm also making a shirt for the Snaggletooth, but let's go ahead and save this as shirt save. Now we're just going to quickly do segment sewing. Segment sewing is pretty easy. What you do is, it's like sewing in real life. Oh wait, let me take this and move it back up here. It doesn't matter, you can't see it in the live view. So in segment sewing, you just go ahead and click one side, then you go over here, click the other side. It's like real life stitching, but it's virtual. Just make sure you keep the armholes open and the neck hole and the, like a real shirt. So let's go ahead and just keep on doing this. Make sure that you don't get this twisty line here. You cannot have that. If you get that, it's going to twist it. So just undo if you accidentally do it like that. And just, since this is such a simple shirt, it's only going to take me a few seconds to do this. I'm a pro, can't you tell? Oh, no I'm not. And there we go. Now we have our whole shirt, gonna save that. Alright, we should be prepared. Now what we do, which is the fun part for me, is you press this little play button here and it does everything else for you. It basically brings the two cloth pieces together and makes it into a full-blown shirt, so let's go ahead and do that. Wow, that did it perfectly. Looks great. Now there are a few clipping issues, but that's okay because you can just fix it in Blender really easily. So we're going to turn that off and we're going to go ahead and just export it as an object. I'm going to name it short shirt. Save. We're going to make the scale 1. Get rid of those 2 zeros, and we're just going to make sure it only exports the cloth shape. We don't need the avatar. Okay. Now we're going to go back in here. I'm going to go to our original file with the bones. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and import wavefront. Go to the file you saved it in. Where was it? Short shirt. And we have our shirt here. It's a little bit gigantic, but that's okay. Press S to scale it down. Move it all the way down there. Zoom in. Scale it a little bit more so that it fits. And if you want, you can go to the Tool tab, and you see this thing that says Set Origin? You can set it to the center right here, so that when you shrink it or make it bigger, it does it more. There you go. So now it's more fitting. You don't even have to blow it up with the sculpt mode. And here's another thing I really like to do to make it look more like a realistic shirt. You see how, it's gonna need some sculpting, but you see how it has like a bit of a paperish look to it? You can fix that by going to the Modifiers tab, right clicking it, add modifier, solidify. And what it does is it makes it look more thick on the inside, so it has a little bit of a thing right there. I don't apply the solidify modifier mainly because it messes everything up. It's gonna be there when you export it for Second Life, but let's fix this thing up a little bit because the neck is a little bit wonky. Oh, whoops. Let me turn the symmetry on. There we go. Probably gonna sell this. It looks pretty good. Let me turn the bones off because that's gonna be annoying. Let's just use the inflate to get all that stuff on there. Okay, it looks good. Now that we have our thing, I'm gonna make the polygons a bit smaller so that it looks less like a Super Mario 64 model. There we go. What I just did is I did W and then subdivide smooth. Now we can go back to sculpt mode and see if there's any more issues, which there aren't. What subdivide smooth does is it makes it look a little bit more wrinkly and more detailed so that your clothes don't have that weird look to it. I'm gonna go ahead and make the head invisible and fix this. There we go. Let me take this off and put it back on so that it can fix whatever it did. I this. That looks good. I'm not gonna play it. Let me fix this back. Oh, there we go. That's not weird. Okay, let's go to object mode and make our bones visible again because we're gonna need those for our rigging. We don't really need the head. So, now that we have our bones, these bones are different from the basic Second Life bones. These are bones for fitted mesh avatars, where you can make the boobs basically, you know, huge or small or whatever, which I'm going to show here in a second. Bladen cat. Let's see. Where is the boob body? Here we go. We have the boob body here. I'm gonna go show you what the difference between fitted mesh and regular mesh is. So, prime example, go down, breast size, large, small. You can just basically, that's what fitted mesh does. If you don't have fitted mesh bones, which were the red bones you see here, it doesn't change the size of the breast. So there's bones made specifically for the breasts here, and they're right here in these two areas. So that's a good thing, but the other issue that you have with that is that you have to do more weight painting, which isn't, it can be a bit tedious, but if you want it to look good, there's a way you can make it look nice, rigged to the body. So what we're gonna do is simply just right-click the clothes, right-click the bones, Control P, and instead of automatic weights, we're going to go to empty groups. We're going to do this a little bit differently. So we go to weight paint mode for the clothes, and as you can see, there are not any weight painting, things going on, but for the body there are. So we're going to just transfer the weights over to the clothes. And since there aren't really many places for the weights to go, like there aren't any leg weights or feet or anything, or hands, it's going to be pretty quick. So what you do is you click Shift while in weight paint mode and you right click the clothes. Then you click with this specific bone selected, transfer weights at the bottom in the tools tab, and it should give you this. Then we do that for basically all the bones in this area where the shirt is. You don't have to do it for the hands or the forearms. So we're gonna go ahead and do that and just speed it up. So it'll be some cool montage. I'll add some music and everything. That should be all of the bones now. I think I have all of them for this area. Yeah, it looks like it. So let's go ahead and try moving the bones to see how they did with the transfer weights. Let's go ahead and move this arm. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Pretty good. Left arm. Torso, wiggle wiggle. Let's see the back and forth. Yeah, that looks perfect actually. I didn't think it would do it that well. Shoulder, it tugs on the neck a little bit, so I'll fix that. Wait, thanks. So the shoulder area, just remove it, subtract my fire. Do the shoulder too. We should do these ones also, so it doesn't seem like we're doing that. Okay, now let's try moving it. Yep, that looks... oh. Now that looks better. Alright. Okay, that should do it. Neck. Whoa, what the heck is going on with the neck? That's not right. Let's fix that. Weight paint. Oh, I see the problem. Yeah, we can just add a little bit of it. We don't have to make the strength too strong. Okay. Let's go to object mode, fix this. Okay. And we're done. For the most part. Okay. Now, all we have to do is the texture. The good thing about Marvelous Designer is that it already makes the UV maps for you, so you don't have to go through any hard process unless you don't like the way the UV maps look, or you modified the shirt so much that the UV maps don't match up anymore. So, all you have to do is go into edit mode, and you can see that there's UV maps here. And since I did the solidify modifier, it added a third UV map for the inside of the shirt. So we're just going to have to press L, G to move it, or maybe it didn't. I'm not sure if it actually did. Sometimes it does. Nope, it didn't. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and just make this so that it's fitting inside this box here. So we're going to go S, scale it all the way down until you get over here. And we're making our space useful so we don't have to take up, so we take up more space than we need. Well, we take up enough. There we go. Now we're going to bake it. So we go ahead, we go to this little camera icon here, scroll down until you see bake. Then we do full render. Not full render, ambient occlusion, sorry. And I forgot. Even if you make the bones invisible, they're still going to show up in the final render and make little black splotch marks all over the place. So we're going to move the shirt up a little bit. We can put it back, but we're just going to move it up and put it there so that way it bakes properly. Oh, whoops, I forgot to do this. You have to create a new image. Now we can bake it. Oh, whoops. Let me turn the solidify modifier off for a second, then bake it. Ugh, are you kidding me? It keeps doing that because the solidify modifier is on it. Let me try applying it. It might mess things up. That's why I don't like applying it, but easy come, easy go. Yikes. Okay, I know what I have to do. I am going to go ahead and remove the modifier completely and add it later. I don't think it'll do anything to it per se. It should just work fine. So, there we go. Now this is what it did to the shirt. If you go into this little texture mode, you can see what the texture looks like. Why is there weird looking lines on the side? Oh, it's the head. Silly, silly, silly. Let me move this up more and then bake it again. There we go. Now it should look good. As you can see, it does a pretty good job of making it look nice. There might be a few errors like this weird dark spot, but you can just blur it out in Photoshop or whatever you use to edit textures. I use Psy, so I'm going to go ahead and save this image, and I'm going to save it in my desktop because I don't really care. Now we're going to move it back down to the avatar. Make sure it's on properly. Okay. Now we don't have to worry about this anymore. We can just export the shirt. Oh wait, let me see if it'll still work with the solidify modifier on. It's no big deal if it doesn't. I just like it having the realistic shirt look on it. No big deal. Okay, let's go to the bones, see if it makes it look wonky. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, let's export this then. Collada.avastar. If you do it as a collada just a normal day, it makes it look weird. Like, take it from me, I've done it before and it makes the avatar look really jacked up. It only works if you're not using the avastar. Avastar is easy to get. Like, you have to pay for it, but you know, there's the people who rip it and all that stuff, so kudos to them. I don't even know why you have to pay for avastar, there's not much you have to do with it. Anyways, what are we saying here? Oh yeah. Okay, shirt. And for the settings, you don't have to do this, but I like to do apply armature scale. You don't have to, but it's just in case. I just like to be safe. So we're going back here, and oh, my white screen was returned back to me. How sad. And upload mesh model. Shirt of the day. Let's preview the skin weights to make sure it doesn't look all wonky. Alright, looks good. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it. Wait, what's going on with the neck? I can't really see it. Oh well. So, now we're going to go ahead and see these low and lowest things? You don't need them. Only people who have really slow computers go on low settings like that. So, it's only fair and polite to have your things the lowest polygons possible for them so that their computers don't crap themselves. So we go ahead and include skin weight. Do not check this. It will make your avatar do some weird things, and I can give you an example of what it will do. 11 lindens. Example, here it is. I think this is the example. It makes your avatar into a cat leg. Oh my god, this is hilarious. But this is what it does to your avatar, so don't do that. Anywho, let's do this. And we have our shirt. The rigging looks fantastic. There's no errors except for around the neck, but it's not a big deal. Nobody's gonna complain about it. You can just put a cute little collar on anyways. I mean, you're a cat, for Pete's sake. We're going to preview the texture in local mode so we don't have to upload 1,000 of them and waste money. So the shirt looks fine in the front, but in the back there's this weird black splotch right here. You can easily fix that by going into whatever program you use, opening up the texture, and you see it right here. So we're just going to go ahead and blur it. And it gets rid of the texture, the shirt texture, so you can just go ahead and overlay it with some kind of shirt thing that you have. Make it look nice. Save. Oh, it's still there. I can get rid of it. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and airbrush it. I think it's just more of a shirt with the problem with the shirt itself, which isn't a big deal. It looks like a wrinkle more than anything. Now we're going to go ahead and upload the actual shirt texture. Upload. Okay, so I have my shirt texture, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it. Oh, it's right here, my textures folder. There we go. All good. If you want, you can lighten the texture to make it more white. That's what I usually do for people who want more color variation. There we go. Now that's more white. You can make it any color you want now without the dark undertone on it. I like the color pink, but I think I'll go for green just to switch it up, or maybe red. A nice dark red. And that's pretty much how you make clothes. Don't do what I did and make Like, leave the neck all wonky looking. Fix it if you see an error. Hey, there's somebody in the background. Hi, person. Okay. Well, that's the end of my tutorial. I hope you guys liked it.